What's going on, fishing buddies? Welcome back to the channel. Today we're doing the 1-year review of the Old Town Sportsman PDL 106.
Let's get out there!
All right, guys, let's jump right into it. I've had this kayak since 2020 of June, and now it's pushing July of 2021. And I thought about it, I was like, man, I've had this thing for a year. I was kind of giving it a once over in the garage, and I was just so surprised of how well this thing is held up. And I wanted to start with the blades, the rudder and the pedal system. Starting with this rudder blade, I was looking it over, and there's this just minimal damage. I mean, it's got your, few little nicks here, but as far as the hardware and the bolts, I mean, little to no rust at all. I haven't had to do much with the cables. I think I've tightened them maybe twice. I'll get into a modification in a minute about that. The ropes, I mean, everything is held up. The whole system just looks great after a year of saltwater use. What I did do is I added this pin, this bolt in the rudder system. This was a suggestion from Navarre Kayaks, Nick over there. I watch a lot of his videos. He suggested this because he says the one that comes with the Old Town will fail over time. This is the one that came with it. I just held on to it. And honestly, I didn't have any problems with it. But just after watching those videos, it was a cheap upgrade. I think it was like $3. So I've added that. And honestly, I find that when I am using the rudder system, it does hold place 10 times better than it did. I'm not constantly working my tension knob here, trying to tighten it, trying to loosen it. It holds position. So it was a great $3-4 upgrade that has been very beneficial. Pedal drive system, same thing. You got your just average little wear and tear, a few little nicks here from hitting stuff that I can't see, but this thing is still holding up great. The pedals, the bar, everything about this. No rust. There's a little rust on these bolts here, but that's it. I've broken this thing down multiple times just with a socket here to take fishing line out and stuff that I've tangled up in there. I've greased it one time, and this thing's still holding up, works like a charm. Everything's still holding on with the bungees. Bungees are not dry rotted or anything like that. The storage compartment stays bone dry. Just awesome system here. Same with this back bungee system. I mean, it's never gotten loose. As you can see, absolutely no dry rot whatsoever. This thing is still working top quality. Again, no rust, anything in these screws. I mean, I just couldn't be happier with this bungee system. Again, on the front, same thing. No dry rot, no weather rot, no rust. And the screws still has a lot of tension on it. This thing has just held up over this past year. This stock paddle clip that comes stock on the kayak, again, pristine. Has never lost its strength. It's still hard to get up there. And I'm popping this thing on and off multiple trips. multiple times a week. My steering tension knob here, with that new bolt, I don't even have to use this tension knob anymore, but it does work fine. I've never had any issues with it. The steering is on point. I've tightened this one time, I believe. After like a 4-day trip, I did a camping trip, and I was out there a lot. And by the time I was hauling it back and forth and got it home, I saw that I needed to tighten these guys a little bit, and it was a simple fix. It took me about 3 minutes, and it's been fine ever since. Again, minimal to almost no rust with the hardware. I mean, this thing is just holding up. The seat was super important to me because I was just sitting in a hole for 3 years. I had a makeshift fishing kayak that I kind of thrown together, and I fished out of that for 3 years. Sitting down on the kayak. I had a seat, but barely ever used it. And so when I saw this with the big lawn chair style seat, that almost sold me by itself. A lot of up and down with this, a lot of standing, sitting down hard, transporting. I crank it down. I stick a bungee from here to here to hold it down. I mean, I put this thing through a lot. Nothing. I mean, I'm really even looking at it as we go here, and I just do not see anything. Like no rips, no tears, no dry rot in the seat whatsoever. I mean, I'm actually just trying to find one, but I can't. I mean, this thing, there's absolutely nothing wrong with it. Super, super easy to clean. I just hit it with the hose when I'm done. Again, no rust, no nothing. Straps are still holding well. Very happy with that seat. Get into a quick modification I did from I did a review on this kayak back in November of 2020. And this is one change I've done. I'd like to point it out is I used to film for my track mount here. And I found a better system, and I'll show you what I switched out. I used to have a small little GoPro mount here that I use, and this wasn't here because I have the 1, 2, 3 rod holders, and I always take 3 rods, so that was perfect. But I figured out a better system. You can watch my video on how to film from a fishing kayak. I'll link it in the description, and you'll see how I set up my camera equipment. But so what I basically did is I'm filming out of this flush mount. So I lost a rod holder. So I bought this from Yak Attack. I think it was like 30 bucks, and replaced that camera mount with this. Sorry about the airplane. Replaced the camera mount with this, and I thought it was going to be in my way. I thought I wasn't going to like it, but I love it. I actually use this one more than any other one right now. I kind of keep these in the back out of my way, and my main rod that I'm using, it goes right here in the front. Absolutely nothing has changed since my first review with this anchor mount. I don't even think the position has changed. I haven't even taken this thing off, I don't believe. My system with the clip is working fine with the mushroom anchor. So if I want to anchor out from the front, I'll unclip the anchor, run it through my handle there, clip back on the anchor, and I can toss it out the front and it'll hold me. Throw it out the side, whatever. This little system here, this little anchor system that I came up with has been key. All right, let's get down to the nitty gritty. Let's see the bottom of this thing. I'm curious myself. I have ordered another part, a skid plate for the back, because I know mine is worn out. So we're gonna flip it. We're gonna look at the old one, see what kind of year of damage it has to it. Look at the whole hole underneath and see what's been going on under there. And then we'll change out that skid plate. All right, we got the bottom. We got some wear right here. Right, for me dragging it is basically what it's from. Again, on that side, dragging it. This is where the pedal drive rests up against. It's still in pristine condition. This is submerged underwater at all times. No rust. Super tight. Again, this is just for me dragging it. There's some gouges here. My fault. I don't have any wheels for this, so I do a lot of dragging. And the skid plate. And just like I thought, it is worn down. This is completely gone. This is actually the kayak right here. So I'm wearing into the kayak at this point. So that definitely has to be changed. So, Old Town website, $5. Actually, they did not have these on the website. I actually called Old Town and placed the order over the phone, and the representative let me know that they have so much stuff they don't put everything on the website. So if you're looking for these and you can't find them, just call Old Town, and they had them here in like 6 days. I ordered 3 of them. 3 of them cost me less than 20 bucks. Little Phillips head screwdriver. That one's in there. That's the one that's been grinded down. Oh, buddy.
Huh?
Like somebody's been chewing on that.
I don't want to dance anymore. Because
New plate on, using the same hardware. That's it. Brand new skid plate. That'll last me another year. All right, let's go over the gear. Let's see if there's been any changes from the gear that I did this review on back in November to the gear now in almost July. I don't think much has changed. Still going with my long hook removers for the undesirables like catfish, fish grips, scissors, hook removers, my little emergency kit. I'm still keeping 2 tackle boxes, sometimes only 1. My bait knife, my anchor, my little Plano marinating box for my soft plastics, my dry box for my cell phone keys, my net. That's it. That is it. And I'll show you guys again how I set it up. Forgot my measuring stick. My measuring stick under the seat. 1. My 2 boxes. Got my bait knife on this little clip. And I'll stick it right behind the seat here for an easy grab. That's where I keep my bait knife. Emergency kit, I always keep right here. And when I'm in rough waters, I'll tie this down a little bit. That goes right behind the seat. Net will go behind the seat. Get this ready for the cooler. Scissors, hook removers on my right, because I'm using those the most. Undesirable pliers and fish grips on my left. And I will keep some, I don't have any with me, but I will keep some, like some leader line down here too. The Plano box will go on top of my pedal drive. Just like that. It straps right in there. So it sits basically right here at my fingertips. Then my dry box with my keys, I throw it down there. That's it. I have switched up coolers. I had a lot bigger cooler. I've gone with this little igloo here because it just fits perfect right here. and I still have room in the back. So when this is deployed, I still have all kind of room here and even in the front. So I downgraded my cooler size. I was keeping a cooler that it ran like this and it took up the whole back end, but I found that I never need it. I can get a 27-inch redfish in here. I got to fold him up a bit, but he gets in there. That's it, guys. It is set up, ready to go. My anchor usually sits there. And I still have so much room. And that's what I've learned about kayak fishing is the less, the better. I'm taking a bunch of gear. I'm taking 4 or 5 rods. I'm not using half of it. And it's just in my way. And it's causing distractions. And it's causing disasters or whatever else might occur out there. So I keep it simple, keep it light, quick fishing, quick catching. All right, fishing buddies, that does it. The 1-year review. Super, super satisfied. I'd buy it again. I would buy it again. It was hard. It's hard to spend that kind of money on a kayak. And even after I got it and I had it in the garage and I got it on the water the first time, I'm just like kind of waiting for the bottom to fall out. And it hadn't. I've been very, very satisfied with this investment. You guys go back, check out my how to film from a fishing kayak video. I'll link that in the description. And go all the way back to November and check out the first review I did. And you can see absolutely nothing has changed. Cooler size, and a little modification to the way I'm filmed. But if you're not filming and you're just fishing, then that modification wouldn't even have been necessary. The pin and the rudder system, there wasn't a problem. But I just like the way that that Nick from Navarre Kayak Fishing, he was presenting that stuff, and it made it look tempting. So I got it. Like I said, it was like $4. But again, there was no issue to fix. I just went ahead and did it just in case there was an issue, you know, later on down the road. Rudder system still working well. Pedal drive is still a beast. Everything about this thing is still working. Probably better from the first day I bought it because I've gotten it broke in now. You guys are enjoying these videos? Hit me a like, hit me a subscribe. Check me out on Facebook, check me out on Instagram. If you come into the Perdido Key, Orange Beach area, you want to do a kayak fishing guide or a surf fishing guide, I do run guides in the area. You can find all my rates at PerdidoBlade.com. Till next time.